Chickpeas, otherwise known as garbanzo beans, is one of the oldest cultivated crops on the planet. Humans have been eating them for over 10,000 years and for good reason. A single cup of cooked chickpeas delivers around 15 grams of protein, 13 grams of fiber, and a solid hit of iron and folate. They're genuinely nutritious in a way that holds up to scrutiny, but what makes them worth talking about is just how adaptable and versatile they are. The same bean that gets blended into hummus can be roasted crispy, simmered into a curry, ground into flour for flatbreads, or even used as a base for baking. They absorb flavors well, they work across cuisines from South Asian to Middle Eastern to Mediterranean, and they're one of the most affordable protein sources you can buy. Today we're going to dig into a lot of chickpea recipes and show you just how versatile they are. If you're new here, my name is Immy, welcome, grab a cup of tea and let's get straight into the video. Oh, and if you do like it, please give it a thumbs up because it really helps to support my channel. Let's get started with some sticky sesame chickpeas. I chose this recipe because it takes less than 15 minutes to make. You're just basically mixing a few sauces together, putting it in a pan, heating it, thickening it, and then adding your chickpeas and the other additional things like sesame seeds and some chili flakes. This is why I think that chickpeas are very versatile, because yes, they do have a distinct flavor, but when you mix them into a very luxurious sauce like this, then they really takes on the flavor of the sauce rather than having that overwhelming chickpea flavor. Chickpeas tend to be quite budget friendly, so this is why I think they are such a great source of protein and fiber. And you can either buy them in tins or you can buy them dried. For me, dried are always going to be the most budget friendly, and then either I soak them overnight, or if I can't be bothered, I'll just put them in a pressure cooker or like my Instant Pot, and I'll cook them for about 40 minutes and then allow them to naturally pressure release. For me, this provides the best flavor and the best texture, because then you also have more control over the texture of the chickpea, whether it's slightly more al dente or whether it's softer. And especially if you're making hummus, cooking them until they're much softer really helps with that consistency. Now, because chickpeas are so versatile, their texture can be really manipulated in many different ways. One way is that plant-based eaters tend to use chickpeas instead of tuna when making a kind of tuna salad. That flaky texture of the chickpeas when mashed up really replicates that for a plant-based eater. And if you've been looking to reduce your fish intake, then this could be a really good option just to give a try. If soft enough, chickpeas can be mashed with a fork, but I like to use a mini food processor. It just really helps to break up the chickpeas quite quickly, and you can decide on the texture for how smooth you want it, or flaky, or kind of chunky and chopped. This recipe has a ton of herbs, a ton of flavor, and I really recommend giving it a try if you like those kind of dill pickle flavors as well. It's also a good way to sneak in a few more vegetables because you can chop them really finely. A chickpea video would not be complete without a Chana masala. When trying new ingredients, it's always best to use a recipe that naturally uses an ingredient as the hero ingredient, i.e. not a substitute. So naturally, chickpeas are supposed to be the hero ingredient in this recipe. By the way, all of the recipes will be in a Google Doc in the description so that they're very easy for you to find. I really like this recipe for many reasons. It's very quick and easy. You basically dump everything into an Instant Pot, but you can make it on the stove if you want to. You set the timer and you just let everything cook at pressure for about 8 minutes. And then it comes out incredibly luxurious, really delicious, especially if you are trying new flavors and you want to try more Indian recipes. Indian recipes are always going to be amazing if you are trying to reduce your meat intake. There are so many naturally vegan and vegetarian recipes. Similarly to the Chana masala, this recipe video would not be complete without falafel. Falafel is so easy to make at home and is absolutely delicious because it is packed with herbs and flavor. This recipe takes a slightly different approach to preparing and cooking the chickpeas. You soak them overnight, and then into a food processor you put them with all the other ingredients, and then you blitz them, and then you turn them into your falafel. It's fairly easy to shape them and prepare them for cooking, and you absolutely don't have to deep fry them kind of like I did. I definitely tried to do more of a deep fry than a shallow fry, but you can bake them in the oven or you can shallow fry them. I personally just really love that crispy texture that you get from falafel when you do deep fry them, or as deep as you can at home. I always put them onto a paper towel afterwards just to absorb some of that extra oil, and then I try to eat them warm because they are so good. I'm always going to be a skeptic when I see recipes of people using things like chickpeas and putting them into some kind of dessert. I've seen people use them in cookie dough, and this is a kind of fudge brownie. But this recipe is by Pickup Lines, and I think that she makes incredible recipes, really well balanced, really well thought out. She's also a registered dietitian, so she's also thinking about the ingredients in terms of protein, fiber, carbs, and all that kind of stuff. I won't lie, I was pleasantly surprised. It did not taste like chickpeas at all. The texture, I think I could have done a little bit better, and I went for a coconut coconut sweetened condensed milk, which was not too coconutty, and on the whole, I actually think that this was really pretty good. I still need to try a cookie dough one, but I think because of the ingredients in this, it really masked that chickpea taste and instead just gave it a really good texture. Because I really liked the chickpea salad wrap recipe earlier, I decided I would try and find another one that had a similar texture but had different flavors. So this one is supposed to mimic a buffalo kind of sauce, and I definitely added quite a bit more hot sauce than was called for in this recipe, but it's another one that's really good for sandwiches, very easy to put together. It kind of creates a nice paste in a good way, not in a bad way, and because you can try it, you can really alter all the seasonings to make sure that you actually like it. I did also add a little bit of vegan mayonnaise to this just to make it a little creamier, but it depends on what kind of hummus you have. I decided to make homemade hummus because this is a chickpea video and that's kind of what gives it its creamy texture, but I really like this for sandwiches and I'll definitely make another one going forward. I really love chickpeas, and one of the reasons why I wanted to make this video is because they are such a powerhouse and they're incredibly versatile. They're really rich in plant-based protein, they're high in fiber, and they're also high in other things like iron and B vitamins. I'm already pretty good on the protein front, but I have been trying to up my fiber, and so I just want to say a thank you to Momentous for sponsoring this portion of today's video. I've been using their creatine for a couple of months now, but I've just started using their Fiber Plus for gut and digestive health, and it is surprisingly easy to incorporate this into your daily life. Most of the time I would just simply add it to my protein shake, as this is something I have most days anyway, and as someone who is working very hard on building muscle and trying to get myself as healthy for this next stage of life, the triple pathway formula designed for performance, not just digestion, has been really helpful. They use soluble fiber, insoluble fiber, and resistant starch, each chosen to support gut health, metabolism, and recovery. Momentous always use ingredients you actually understand and that support your gut and not stress it out. So if you're interested in checking out Momentous for yourself, you can use my link in the description or use the QR code to get 35% off. Okay, thank you again to Momentous for sponsoring this portion of today's video. Depending on how you cook chickpeas, you can roast them to make them really crispy. Or if you have an air fryer, I think you could probably make them even crispier. I like to do this because I can roast them with a bunch of different seasonings and then kind of use them as a topper for salads or for other recipes that just require a little bit more protein. Or honestly, just a little bit more flavor and texture. I will just shove a bunch of different seasonings onto it with some oil, give that a really good mix with some salt and some pepper, and then roast them until I like the texture. I recommend doing this in small batches because you can store them in different ways that actually help them to lose their crispiness, which is obviously not what you want. So sometimes it's nice to just make them in a small batch, top them onto whatever you're eating, and then just enjoy it warm like that. You can, of course, meal prep these, but I just think that the texture is not as good if you put them in the fridge. Now, chickpea flour or gram flour is incredibly widely used around the world. I recently made some Burmese tofu with this, and it's incredibly easy to make, and it's really good if you are soy-free or cannot eat soy for some reason. The texture is definitely very different to a normal tofu made out of soybeans, but the wonderful thing about this tofu is that you can add as many seasonings as you want to really add a lot of flavor. Depending on what saucepan you use, you can also crisp it up really nicely. I found this to be a very nice substitute, and I think that it would be particularly good in curries and a nice rich sauce. Now, this is just one way to use chickpea or gram flour. There are, of course, hundreds of thousands of recipes that you can choose from. So I'll put a couple more for you to try in the description box below. Okay, we're just gonna try it plain first. That's really nice. I was surprised at how crispy you could get the edges. A big difference that will make to the taste of it is if you put more seasonings or you put vegetable broth in the mixture when you're actually making the tofu in the first place. It is quite soft, so you probably have to be a little bit more delicate with it than you probably would with tofu. But even without any sauce on this, it's really, really good. And it's also just a really good source of protein if you don't want to have so much tofu, soy tofu, and you don't want to you've already eaten beans or whatever. It's just a really easy way to add in some extra protein if you want to. Now, my next dinner favorite coming in is the Rainbow Plant Life Orzo pasta salad. I actually haven't made this for a while, but it's still up there and I do think about it quite often. It's just a little bit labor intensive, as you can probably tell with quite a lot of these meals that I make. This one I particularly like. I am a big fan of preserved lemons, and this is actually something I show you later in this same video. And this is one of my number one reasons, this recipe, as to why I even make my own preserved lemons in the first place. I'm a big fan of tagines, which also include preserved have lemons, but this is definitely the recipe that I predominantly use them for. I really like pasta. This has also got lots of chickpeas, it's got different spices, it's got fresh basil and a gremolata in there. It's really lemony, it's really flavorful, and again, it's one of those meals I make for people if I know that they like these kinds of flavors and I want to try and make something a little bit more exciting for people for dinner. I think because of how much labor goes into this meal and just kind of the ingredients, I don't tend to make it just for my husband and I very often, but actually watching back this footage and making it again seems a lot more appealing because I haven't made it for a while, and I definitely want to start making more recipes that I haven't tried before. Sometimes it's very easy to get stuck in the same recipes that you make all the time, but there is a reason why I make these recipes so often. So maybe this is my sign to make this recipe again and to do a little bit more experimenting. I like to call this recipe the cupboard staple. It's really easy to pull together if you have the stuff in the cupboard, and these tend to be the ingredients that we personally do have. Things like coconut milk and tomatoes or canned tomatoes. We always have dried chickpeas on hand, or we have some that we've made and in the Instant Pot and put in the fridge. I also do like to put some chickpeas in the freezer once I've cooked them as well, just to prolong their life and make sure that they don't go to waste. But this is very much a recipe that my husband has made for us a bunch of times, and he's kind of perfected it to his tastes over the years. And I think that it's just a really easy weeknight chickpea curry that you can pull together and have with either on its own, with some vegetables, with some rice, or both. One of the things that I did like to do with it recently is to add a tadka to the top of it. Again, this is something I learned from Rainbow Plant Life from her cookbook, and it's just a way to add a huge amount of flavor to whatever curry. Mostly I think people put it on a dal, but I thought it'd be really fun to try it on this chickpea curry. And you're basically heating up some oil and adding in things like mustard seeds and curry leaves and other spices that really add a lot of flavor. And then you're creating a very intensely flavored oil which you pour over the top of your curry or your dal once it's ready. And you want to eat this immediately. It's not really something that you can kind of meal prep. So this is just a very easy curry. I think there are probably lots of standard curries like this online. That's just a very easy chickpea curry that's kind of a cupboard staple. Now, it's not just chickpeas that are an incredible ingredient, but also the liquid that the chickpeas come in. This is called Aquafaba. It is often used in plant-based or vegan baking as a replacement for things like eggs. And that's because it is a really great rising and binding agent. I have used this in countless recipes, for example, this banana bread. And in this banana bread recipe, we blend it up a little bit to kind of give it a nice bubbly texture. But if you go even further and you continue whisking this, you can actually use it as a substitute for egg meringue. I personally have used this to make macarons, and as long as you get the texture right, you can get an almost identical version of a macaron just without the eggs. So this is really great if you are vegan or plant-based, or if you are allergic to eggs, or you just simply don't like them and don't want to eat them. And don't worry, it does not taste like chickpeas. I know it can be a weird ingredient to first work with, but honestly, it is such an incredible ingredient and does really work wonders in baking. Now, I have barely scratched the surface with the recipes that you can use chickpeas in, or the different ways that you can manipulate their texture to make something truly amazing. But hopefully this will get you started into understanding just how wonderful chickpeas can be, especially because they are high in protein, as I've mentioned, and a really great source of fiber. And because of their versatility, I really think that there will be one recipe at least that you'll be able to find that you really like. As I mentioned before, check out the description below because there will be a document with all of these recipes in them. If you're looking for more recipes for specific ingredients like lentils or tofu, I have already made a video with those specific ingredients. So don't forget to check them out. I'll leave them linked above and below. And if you really like this video, please give it a thumbs up as it really helps to support my channel. And don't forget to subscribe because I'm going to be doing at least one of these videos every few weeks. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.